Good evening, boys and girls. Today we are going to have the seventh session on public administration, and the topic of today's discussion would be the administrative law. Before going into details of this particular concept, let me tell you some background of this whole of the different concept of laws we have around us. Primarily, in this part of the world, we have got three basic concepts of law. One is known as rule of law. What is meant by rule of law? A rule of law means that everybody, whosoever he or she is, whatever the positions he or she retains, whatever the class he or she belongs to, is equal before law. यानी कानून की नजर में कोई ताकतवर है, कोई अमीर है, कोई गरीब है, कोई डिफरेंट रंग नस्ल किसी बायस के बगैर everybody will be dealt by law on the same grounds is known as the rule of law. The concept of rule of law. Right from the president of a country to the PN, everybody is equal before law. That is the concept of rule of law. There is another और उसके लिए आपके पास पूरा एक स्ट्रक्चर पाया जाता है, पूरी कोर्ट्स पाई जाती हैं, जिसमें आपकी ट्रायल कोर्ट्स हैं, जिसमें आपकी एपलेट कोर्ट्स हैं, जिसके अंदर आपकी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल कोर्ट्स हैं. उस तमाम स्ट्रक्चर को, उस तमाम सेटअप को देखती हैं. और रूल ऑफ लॉ को अगर डिविएट करता है, यानी रूल ऑफ लॉ के उस कॉन्सेप्ट को, यानी जब कोई शख्स उस प्रेस्क्राइब रूल्स, लॉज, रेगुलेशंस को डिविएट करता है, तो स्टेट की जो एजेंसी है, जो एग्जेक्टिव है, उसको ऑपरेट करती है. अपनी पोजीशन को ऑपरेट करते हुए मैटर इज ब्रॉट बिफोर द कोर्ट and the court decides the matters accordingly, keeping in mind all the principles of justice and all the normal practices which they have in their normal trial courts proceedings we have. The second concept, which was quite popular in many of the European countries, was the administrative law, the administrative law, in which the prime object was that a body of rules should be made which must regulate the relation of administration or administrative authorities with the private citizens. I mean, it's a body of rules which regulate the relation of administrative authorities with private citizens. कि आपके जो प्राइवेट सिटीजन्स हैं और जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव अथॉरिटीज हैं, who actually perform their actions on the basis of the authority given by the government, उनके बीच जो रिलेशनशिप है उसको रेगुलेट करने के लिए एक बॉडी बनाई गई, जिसको आप एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव डायोड या एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव लॉ का नाम दें. देखिए, मैंने फर्स्ट लेक्चर में भी आपसे जिक्र किया था गालिबन कि बिफोर द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन वाज पॉपुलराइज्ड, द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ द स्टेट वाज अ सिक्योरिटी स्टेट, where the prime objective of the government was to collect the revenues and then in turn give security to the people. I mean, the internal and external security, security from the internal threats and security from the external threats, and in response to that, government used to give them, government used to get revenues from them. That was the concept of a security state. With the passage of time, this concept of security state was transformed into a welfare state. And in a welfare state, each of the citizens expects almost everything from the government. right from the birth of the child till the death of a person, he or she expects everything from the government. And government is supposed to perform the activities to facilitate that citizen. I mean, the concept of the welfare state revolves around the welfare of a person, welfare of a citizen. The state is responsible for maintaining a qualitative life standard for each and every citizen of the state. So basically, this administrative law is a concept that it's a body of rules which regulates the relation of administrative authorities with the private citizens. That if any of the functionary of the government having authority on part of the state or on part of the government operates and his operation has actually affected any of the citizen, then the citizen must be having this right that if he or she thinks any action of a government functionary against his basic rights, then he or she should be in a position to challenge such act of the administration in some court of law. And the jurisdiction was not the normal courts. There were some special courts known as administrative courts for that particular purpose. देखिए, जो administrative law है, its rules are evolved by the presidents of the administrative courts. बुनियादी प्रिंसिपल ये है, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव लॉ का बुनियादी उसूल ये है कि स्टेट रिस्पॉन्सिबल है हर उस फंक्शन की जो वो अपने फंक्शनरीज के थ्रू, जो अपने ऑफिशियल्स के थ्रू परफॉर्म करती है। और कोर्ट्स का ये हक है, यानी एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव कोर्ट्स का ये हक है कि जो एक्सेसिव यूज ऑफ पावर हुआ है, मिस यूज ऑफ पावर हुआ है, दैट मस्ट बी चेक्ड by the administrative courts to safeguard the basic rights of an individual. So this concept of administrative law is basically, as I discussed, that it actually regulates the relationship of administrative authorities with the private citizens of a state. It's basically a science which makes an analysis of transmission of will of state from its source to the point of its application. I repeat again, it's a science which makes an analysis of transmission of will of state from its source to the point of application. Or you can say it concerns with setting the limits while exercising their will. यानी जो गवर्नमेंट फंक्शनरीज हैं, when they are trying to exercise the will of the government, and if they are going to misuse the authority, misuse the power, then in those circumstances, the rights of the citizens or individuals should not be in jeopardy at all. And there must be some forum where he can challenge such acts on part of a person being a government functionary. Well, this concept is quite popular in many of the continental countries, many of the European countries like France, Germany, Italy, Holland, Spain, Portugal. There are so many, this concept is so popular there. And there are so many cases of administrative law in these particular countries. And there's a least, I mean, but the outcome they have is that it's a speedy process. Actually, how it goes. A person goes to an administrative court and he or she gains the pecuniary indemnity against the state. कि अगर कोई स्टेट फंक्शनरी कोई ऐसा एक्शन करता है जो किसी इंडिविजुअल के राइट्स को, बेसिक राइट्स को जेओपार्डी में डालता है, तो वो उसके अगेंस्ट पेक्यूनरी इंडेमनिटी क्लेम करता है, यानी उसके बाकायदा माली हर्जाने का दावा करता है, प्रॉम्प्ट है, एप्ट रेमेडियल मेजर्स लेता है अगेंस्ट द रॉन्गफुल एक्ट्स ऑफ द ऑफिशियल्स। एडवांटेजेस क्या है? Number one, these decisions are not made in the normal trial law courts. These are the special courts made for this special purpose, and their decisions are apt and prompt. Number two, the people who are working as the judges of these courts, they are not mostly from the normal proceedings of the law, civil laws and others, criminal laws. These are the technical persons having quite a bit exposure of these administrative things, and they listen the complainant, and the complainant is not even forced to come up with his application with the aid of some lawyer, not at all. He or she can herself come around in that court and come up with his or her viewpoint, that where he or she thinks that some government functionary or other person being regulated by the state has deviated some action, has come up with some action which has brought him or her in a type of situation where he or she can claim the pecuniary indemnity for that. So the technical persons knowing the technical details of that. This system basically safeguards the citizens from the misuse of the authority of the public officials. J.H. Morgan कहता है कि this system actually makes your public officials more responsible. C.K. Allen का ये कहना है कि the system which is available in France in the shape of administrative law and administrative courts, that is much easier to get justice. That's much easier, that's much cheaper, that's much speedier as compared to justice system in United Kingdom. So the usability of this administrative law is very much clearer from where these administrative courts are quite effective and operative. The Council of State, which is basically working as administrative courts, that works as a buffer between the state and the citizens. So primarily this concept of administrative courts has been extraordinary, where we can go for any of the act on part of any public official or any other person being regulated by the state. We are there and we can come around with any of the act on their part which is otherwise unlawful to my understanding, and we can go around और उसके ऊपर हम pecuniary indemnity claim कर सकते हैं अकॉर्डिंग. अच्छा, तो तीसरी चीज मैं आपको बता रहा था, तो एक तो था कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ रूल ऑफ लॉ, दूसरा कॉन्सेप्ट आपका एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव लॉ, और तीसरा आपका एक कॉन्सेप्ट आया जो आपने भी यहाँ हमने पीछे एक पूरी ऑलमोस्ट 5-6 years वी हैड दैट पर्टिकुलर कॉन्सेप्ट, जिसमें आपने जुडिशियल एक्टिविज्म देखा. तो जुडिशियल एक्टिविज्म में क्या होता है कि द कोर्ट्स आर प्रोएक्टिव, और वो जब जहां समझते हैं कि कोई ऐसा एक्शन हुआ है जिससे किसी सिटीजन के बेसिक राइट्स जो पार्टी में गए, किसी सिटीजन के बेसिक राइट्स के ऊपर कोई आंच आई है, तो जो हायर कोर्ट्स हैं वो खुद उस मामले को टेकअप करते हैं इन द शेप ऑफ जुडिशियल एक्टिविज्म, और उस पर्टिकुलर पब्लिक अथॉरिटी को अपने कोर्ट्स में बुला लिया जाता है कि आपके इस एक्शन ने फला सिटीजन्स की फला सेक्शन ऑफ सोसाइटी को अफेक्ट किया है और वो उसको अकॉर्डिंगली प्रोसीड करें. सो ये तीन बुनियादी कॉन्सेप्ट थे, रूल ऑफ लॉ, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव लॉ एंड जुडिशियल एक्टिविज्म. There has been some time where almost all of these three concepts were applicable in Pakistan. अब जरा हम आते हैं कि पाकिस्तान के अंदर क्या तारीख है regarding administrative law के सिलसिले में, because this concept was more popular in many of the continental countries like European countries as we discussed in Germany, France, Portugal and other countries as I mentioned already. पाकिस्तान के अंदर जहां तक इस कॉन्सेप्ट का सिलसिला है, the concept in Pakistan, देखिए जी, right after 1947 the first constituent assembly came up with an act of the parliament known as Prevention of Corruption Act 1947. But that Prevention of Corruption Act 1947 remained unsuccessful in taking care of such incidents or any other practices like that. Justice A.R. Cornelius, while the 1972 constitution was being in process, which was interim constitution till the time a regular constitution was in process, Justice A.R. Cornelius mentioned at that time that there must be some setup of administrative law, administrative courts in the country. But unfortunately that was not realized, not even in the interim constitution but in 1973 constitution as well. The first concept of such type of administrative courts or a very similar concept to that was initiated in Pakistan during the tenure of General Zia Haq, and he came up with the concept of ombudsman. Federal ombudsman, provincial ombudsman, and then they were further delegated to the regional ombudsmans. What was the concept of ombudsman? Muhtasib-e-Ala. The purpose of this concept was, if any of the citizens thinks that if any of the government functionary has done something which is basically the misuse of his authority, or his or her action has actually affected the basic rights of that particular individual, he or she can go to the office of ombudsman with a simple application on a white plain paper, and the ombudsman will be having the powers to call any of that public functionary in his office and to ask about that action being taken on part of state functionary. The ombudsmen were given the powers of a justice of a high court. They had also this power that they can not only take action on any of the complaint initiated by a citizen, but they had the power to go for, as I mentioned, judicial activism. As an act of judicial activism, they can take the suo motu notice of some activity which they think around that has brought the rights of any citizen into power. Right? So the ombudsman concept was introduced in Pakistan, but that was not that much popularized, and with the passage of time the girth and the intensity of that system got weakened, and the ombudsman office remained there, but that office could not serve the purpose for which this basic concept was basically brought about. Then another military dictator comes, and he brought the same concept with a different nomenclature in the shape of consumer courts. These consumer courts were also having almost the same type of scope and same type of powers, perhaps with some of the more you can say the areas and the scope of the consumer courts were comparatively more comprehensive as compared to the office of ombudsman. And these consumer courts were established at district level, and the judges, as I mentioned, most of them are having the background of the administration, and any of the citizen जिसको भी कोई इशू है वो जाता है, एक सफ़ेद कागज़ पर एप्लीकेशन लिखता है, कि किसी गवर्नमेंट फंक्शनरी ने या किसी दूसरे ऑफिशियल ने जो कि स्टेट फंक्शनरी की रेगुलेशन में आता है, उसने मेरे राइट्स को डिविएट किया है, कंज्यूमर कोर्ट्स उसके ऊपर डिपार्टमेंटल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स को कॉल करते हैं, उसके ऊपर एक्शन लेते हैं और इस तरह किसी भी सिटीजन के जो बेसिक राइट्स हैं उनके सेफ गार्ड करने में अपना रोल प्ले करते हैं। मैं एक एग्जांपल के साथ आपको एक्सप्लेन करता हूं कि हाउ दीज कंज्यूमर कोर्ट्स हैव बीन इफेक्टिव। You must have gone through in a story published in Dawn where an infant daughter of a civil servant was brought to a private hospital with a complaint of diarrhea or some other complications. अब वो प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल में जो डॉक्टर साहब थे और उनके यहाँ जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर था वो बहरहाल जिस तरह हमारे यहाँ अनफॉर्चुनेटली क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ रेगुलराइजेशन नहीं पाई जाती, रेगुलेटिंग बॉडीज़ उतनी इफेक्टिव नहीं है, लिहाजा इन प्राइवेट स्ट्रक्चर्स को चाहे वो आपको हेल्थ की नज़र आती हैं, चाहे एजुकेशन की नज़र आती हैं या दूसरी आती हैं, तो उनकी प्रॉपर रेगुलेशन नहीं होती है, रेगुलेटिंग बॉडीज़ इतनी इफेक्टिव नहीं है, तो ऑफ कोर्स वो किसी SOP के बगैर भी काम किए जा रहे हैं। तो रिजल्ट ये हुआ कि उनकी बेटी को वहाँ पर ट्रीट किया गया और ट्रीटमेंट के दौरान उनको ओवरडोज कर दिया गया, जिससे उनकी बेटी का लिवर डैमेज हो। When this situation came up, so the only option he had was the liver transplant, and he had to go with her daughter for liver transplant. When he came back with all the reports he had and all the lab reports he had, he came back and went to the consumer court कि जी ये एक इदारा है जिसको गवर्नमेंट की फंक्शनिंग ने रेगुलेट करना है, रेगुलेट नहीं किया गया और मेरे साथ ये ज्यादती हुई है, मुझे इसकी इतनी पेक्यूनियरी इंडेमनिटी दी जाए और उस इदारे को ब्लैकलिस्ट किया जाए, उन डॉक्टर्स को डीलिस्ट किया जाए, उनके लाइसेंसेस को कैंसिल किया जाए। कंज्यूमर कोर्ट में ये मामला चलता है, प्रोसीड करता है, कंज्यूमर कोर्ट एक्टिवली अपने फंक्शन को परफॉर्म करता है और अल्टीमेट आउटकम आपको ये नज़र आती है कि ना सिर्फ कि उस डॉक्टर के लाइसेंस कैंसिल किया जाता है, उस हॉस्पिटल को ब्लैकलिस्ट किया जाता है, बल्कि ना सिर्फ के इलाज के तमाम अखराजात उनको पे करना पड़ते हैं, बल्कि जो मेंटल ड्रामा का वो सामना करते हैं उसके अगेंस्ट भी उनको पेक्यूनियरी इंडेमनिटी अलाउ की जाती है। सो किसी भी सिटीज़न को अगर ऐसी कोई प्रॉब्लम आती है तो इस सिलसिले में इस तरह की जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव कोर्ट्स जिनको अभी हम करंटली पाकिस्तान में कंज्यूमर कोर्ट्स के कॉन्सेप्ट से जानते हैं, इसके ज़रिए वो अपने फोरम्स को, अपने प्रॉब्लम्स को एड्रेस कर सकता है। तो दिस इज़ द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ द एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव लॉ इन पाकिस्तान और इस सिलसिले में दिस इज़ व्हाट द हिस्ट्री वी हैव रिगार्डिंग एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव लॉ। If you have any question around, you can further discuss that in the next upcoming lecture. Thank you.